All right, get ready because today we're taking a deep dive into how to absolutely nail those SAP interviews.
Ooh, SAP interviews, those can be tough.
Yeah, they can be pretty intense, but luckily we've got a secret weapon today.
Ooh, and what's that?
We're going to be using the wisdom of, you guessed it, the interview guru himself, Joshua Brown.
Ah, yes, from the How to Become channel, right. That guy's got some great stuff.
Exactly, and he's got this awesome YouTube video specifically on acing SAP interviews.
Nice, so we'll be breaking down his tips and strategies. Sounds good to me.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it with the question that always seems to kick things off.
You mean tell me about yourself? Yeah, that one can be a real make or break moment.
It really is. And Brown emphasizes that you can't just give some generic answer. You got to tailor it to the specific job you're going for.
Right, like why are you interested in this particular role at SAP? Show them you've done your homework.
I love how Brown puts it in his sample answer. He starts by saying something like, joining SAP excites me because of its global leadership in business software and commitment to technological innovation.
See, right off the bat, he's showing them he gets it. He understands what SAP is all about.
And then he takes it a step further by connecting that excitement back to his own passions, saying, I have a passion for efficiency and scalability in technology. It's like he's saying, look, I'm not just here for any job. I'm here because this aligns with what I care about.
It's subtle, but it's so effective. It sets the tone for the whole interview. Like, you're not just looking for a paycheck, you're looking for a place where you can make a real impact.
Exactly. And that leads us nicely into another classic question. Why have you applied for this position?
Ah, yes. This one's all about showing them you're not just sending out resumes randomly. You've got a genuine interest in SAP.
Brown's advice here is to go deeper than the surface level. What is it about SAP that genuinely resonates with you?
Maybe it's their culture of innovation, their global reach, or even, their commitment to sustainability. They do a lot of work in that area.
Oh yeah, I was reading about some of their sustainability initiatives. Pretty impressive stuff.
Right. Mentioning something like that shows you've done your research and you're interested in the bigger picture of what SAP is doing in the world.
And then you tie those attractions back to your own career goals. It's like saying, I see how my skills and aspirations fit perfectly with what you're doing here.
Boom. Perfect match.
Okay, so you've nailed the opening questions, you're feeling good. Then they hit you with, what project are you most proud of?
Ah, the classic tell us about your greatest hits question.
It's tempting to just pick the project you think is the most impressive, but Brown has a really important point here.
What's that?
Relevance. SAP doesn't care about your baking skills unless you're applying to be their pastry chef.
Haha, good point.
They want to see skills that are relevant to this specific role. And don't forget about their core values. Problem solving, teamwork, client focus. Does the project you choose demonstrate those qualities?
It's all about showing them how your past success translates into future value for SAP.
Right. And Brown breaks down how to structure your answer. Choose a project that aligns with the target role. Describe your specific contributions. Emphasize the positive outcomes you achieved. And bam, you've given them exactly what they're looking for.
It's not about bragging, it's about painting a clear picture of what you bring to the table.
I love how he emphasizes that it's not just about what you did, but about your specific contributions and the positive impact you had.
Outcome-oriented, always a good thing.
Okay, now for a question that I think gets to the heart of what SAP is all about. Brown even calls it a great question, and I have to agree.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Can you tell me about a time when you used data to convince someone to see your point of view? Data-driven decision-making, baby.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's something that's so crucial in the SAP world, right?
Absolutely. You got to show them you can analyze data, communicate your findings, and use that evidence to influence decisions.
So how do you recommend tackling this one?
Well, Brown recommends using the STAR method to structure your answer. Lay out the situation, the task, the action you took, and the result you achieved.
The STAR method, it's a classic for a reason. Keeps you focused, helps you avoid rambling.
Right. And what I love is Brown gives this fantastic example of bringing the STAR method to life. He talks about a debate over choosing the right software tool for project management. Imagine this is happening at SAP. They're always evaluating new tools and tech, right?
Yeah, always looking for the best solutions.
So instead of just going with his gut, Brown gathers data on things like user satisfaction, implementation time, cost effectiveness, and uses that evidence to build his case.
It's like a masterclass in data-driven decision-making. And it shows the interviewer that you're not just throwing opinions around, you're basing your recommendations on solid evidence.
Exactly. You're not just a data geek. You can actually use data to persuade and influence others.
And he even adds a little reflection at the end about what he learned from the experience.
Ah, that's so important. It shows you're not just a robot. You can learn and grow from your experiences. And that's what any company, especially one as innovative as SAP, is looking for people who can use data to drive progress.
Right. Always be learning, always be growing.
Okay, so we've covered some of the big ones, but Brown has a whole bunch of other questions you should be ready for.
Oh yeah, bring on the curveballs. We'll dive into those in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned because we're going to unpack even more of Brown's insights and give you the tools you need to ace those SAP interviews.
Can't wait to hear more.
We'll be right back.
See you soon. Okay, so you've crushed those first few questions. You've shown them you're passionate about SAP, you understand the role, but the interview isn't over yet.
It's like a boxing match, right? You got to keep your guard up.
Exactly. Brown throws in some real curveball questions, stuff that can really trip people up.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Well, he starts with a classic. Why do you want to leave your current position? Always a bit of a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so easy to accidentally badmouth your old boss or something.
It is, but Brown gives some great advice here. Flip the script.
What do you mean?
Instead of focusing on what you're running from, focus on what excites you about the opportunity at SAP. What are you hoping to gain?
So it's like instead of saying, I'm leaving because my boss is a nightmare, you say, I'm excited about this opportunity because it offers new challenges and a chance to grow my skills in this specific area.
Exactly. Talk about things like new challenges, the chance to learn SAP-specific technologies, your alignment with their company culture. It makes you sound ambitious and forward-thinking.
I like that. It's all about growth, not grievances.
Now, here's one that can throw people off if they haven't done their research. Which of the SAP solutions interests you the most? Seems straightforward, but there's a lot riding on your answer.
Oh yeah, this one definitely requires some research.
It does, but even if you've spent hours reading up on SAP, you don't need to sound like an encyclopedia.
So don't try to impress them with jargon.
Right. Brown suggests picking one or two solutions that genuinely resonate with you. Maybe ones that connect to your past experience or future goals. And then the important part is explaining why it interests you. Is it the technology itself, the potential impact it has on businesses?
I see. So it's about showing them you've thought about this. You're not just reciting facts from their website.
Exactly. Show them you're genuinely interested and engaged. Okay, ready for a two-parter.
Get me.
Brown talks about both what do you know about SAP's corporate values and what are your salary expectations? Two very different questions, but both important.
Yeah, let's start with the values one. How do you approach that without just sounding like you memorized their website?
Well, you have to show that you understand what those values mean. Brown suggests picking one or two values that really speak to you and then giving a specific example of how you've embodied those values in your own work.
So like, if one of their values is integrity, you could talk about a time when you had to make a tough decision that demonstrated your integrity.
Exactly. You're connecting the dots for them, showing them that you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk.
Okay, now the salary question.
Yeah.
Always a bit awkward.
It can be, but Brown has some great tips. First off, do your research. Know the market rate for similar roles in your location. Know your worth.
Right. Don't sell yourself short.
And then be prepared to justify your expectations based on your skills and experience. It's a negotiation, not a demand.
Good point. And Brown also suggests framing it in terms of your overall compensation package, not just the base salary. Think about benefits, bonuses, stock options, the whole enchilada.
Yeah, the total value of the offer. Okay, now let's move on to some of those behavioral questions Brown recommends you prep for. These are the ones designed to reveal your personality, your work ethic, how you handle challenges.
Oh yeah, these are the ones that make you sweat a little.
Right? Okay, here's a classic. Can you tell me about a time when you had to resolve a conflict between two colleagues? We've all been there, right? Office drama.
Ugh, don't remind me.
I know, but it's a great opportunity to show the interviewer that you can handle interpersonal challenges with diplomacy and professionalism.
So how do you answer that one? What are they really looking for?
They want to see that you can listen actively, facilitate productive discussions, and find win-win solutions.
And it's a chance to highlight those all-important soft skills.
Yeah.
Right? Communication, empathy, problem solving.
Exactly. Gold in any workplace, especially at a collaborative company like SAP. Okay, here's one that seems easy but can actually be quite challenging. Why should we hire you?
Oh, that's a good one. It feels like they're inviting you to brag, but you have to do it in the right way.
Brown's advice is to frame your answer in terms of how your skills and experiences align with SAP's needs. Think back to the job description, highlight the key requirements, and show how you tick those boxes.
So it's not just about listing your skills, it's about connecting them to what SAP is looking for.
Right. And remember, show, don't tell. Back up your claims with concrete examples. And Brown also suggests mentioning your passion for technology, your eagerness to learn and grow, your commitment to SAP's values. Showcase yourself as a valuable asset.
I like that. Speaking of valuable assets, another question Brown highlights is, how would your skills contribute to the team's success?
The team player question. This one's all about collaboration.
It's a chance to talk about your ability to work effectively with others, your willingness to share knowledge, your knack for problem solving as a group.
Right? Those soft skills come into play again here. Communication, empathy, active listening. These are the things that make a team function smoothly.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Right.
Okay, let's talk about stress. It's a part of any job, but how you manage it makes all the difference.
Absolutely. Brown recommends having a strong answer ready for how would you handle stress and pressure in the workplace? Everyone experiences stress differently, so you need to show them you have healthy coping mechanisms.
So what kind of answer are they looking for here?
Brown suggests giving a specific example of a time you faced a high-pressure situation and successfully navigated it. Maybe it was a tight deadline, a demanding client, a complex project. The specifics don't matter as much as how you handled it.
Did you prioritize tasks effectively? Communicate clearly, stay calm and focused. It's about showing your resilience.
Exactly. Okay, this next one might seem basic, but it's a chance to show them you've done your research. What do you know about SAP?
It's like what we were saying earlier about understanding their values. You need to show that you've taken the time to really get to know SAP, their history, their mission, their key products and services.
Brown suggests going a step further by looking into their recent initiatives. Maybe there's an innovative project they've announced or a new partnership. This shows you're not just looking at the past, you're interested in where SAP is headed in the future.
I like that. It shows you're thinking ahead. Okay, time to showcase that amazing work ethic of yours. Brown recommends having a compelling story ready for when they ask, "Can you tell me about a time when you went above and beyond what was expected?"
This is your chance to shine. Show them you're not just punching the clock. You're passionate about delivering exceptional results, and you're willing to go the extra mile.
So think about a time when you took initiative, solved a problem, or came up with a creative solution that exceeded everyone's expectations.
It's all about demonstrating your dedication. Now, let's talk about a question that can be tricky to answer without sounding cheesy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Yeah, that one always makes me cringe a little.
Yeah,
Nobody expects you to have a crystal ball.
right, but you don't want to sound like you haven't given it any thought either. Brown emphasizes the importance of showing ambition and a desire for growth within SAP.
So talk about wanting to learn new skills, take on more responsibility, maybe even move into a leadership role.
But here's the key. Connect your personal goals to SAP's growth trajectory. Show them you're in it for the long haul, you're invested in their future as much as your own.
It's like you're saying, I'm not just here for a pit stop, I'm here for the journey.
Exactly. Okay, ready for everyone's least favorite question. What's your biggest weakness?
Oh boy, here we go.
I know, nobody likes talking about their flaws, but Brown has a brilliant strategy for handling this one.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
This is one I always struggle with.
Well, he suggests choosing a weakness that's actually a strength in disguise.
A strength in disguise. Like what?
It could be something like perfectionism, overthinking, or even taking on too much responsibility. Things that can be perceived as both positive and negative depending on the situation.
Ah, I see. So it's not about pretending you're perfect, it's about showing self-awareness.
Right. The trick is to frame it as something you're actively working on improving. Maybe you're taking a course, seeking feedback from colleagues, or practicing new techniques. It shows humility and a desire for continuous growth.
That's a great approach. It turns a potentially negative question into an opportunity to highlight your commitment to self-improvement.
Now, Brown mentions a couple more questions that delve into your project experience. Things like, can you tell me about a project you were involved in with significant challenges? And can you tell me about a time when you worked with people from diverse backgrounds?
These are great opportunities to showcase your problem-solving skills and your ability to thrive in complex, collaborative environments.
Pick projects that highlight your adaptability, communication skills, and your ability to navigate cultural differences. And remember, it's not just about what you did, it's about what you learned from those experiences.
Show them you can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Okay, I think we've covered just about every question under the sun.
We've covered a lot of ground, that's for sure, but believe it or not, there's still more to come.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll reveal Brown's top recommendations for really nailing those SAP interviews and landing your dream job.
This is where the real magic happens. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss this. All right, we're back. And you know what they say? It's all about finishing strong.
That's right. We've covered a ton of ground already. Those tricky behavioral questions, how to showcase your data-driven decision-making, even negotiating your salary. But now it's time for the finishing touches, the stuff that really sets you apart.
The secret sauce, huh? Okay, I'm ready. What does Brown have up his sleeve?
Well, he starts with the basics, which is, preparation, but it's more than just memorizing answers.
Yeah, you can't just show up and wing it, especially with SAP interviews.
Exactly. Brown's advice is to really, and I mean really, understand SAP. Go deep with your research.
Beyond just their website, right?
Oh, absolutely. Dive into their recent news, projects, initiatives. What are their challenges? What are their goals for the future? The more you know, the better you can position yourself as someone who can help them achieve those goals.
Makes sense. The more you know, the more confident you'll be.
Right, and confidence is key.
Mm.
Brown also suggests practicing your answers out loud, maybe even with a friend or mentor.
Like a mock interview.
Exactly. It helps you refine your delivery, get comfortable talking about your experiences, and it just makes you feel more confident on the big day.
It's like anything else. Practice makes perfect.
Speaking of performance, Brown emphasizes the importance of, projecting a positive and enthusiastic attitude throughout the interview. Smile, make eye contact, show them you're genuinely excited to be there.
Yeah, nobody wants to hire a grumpy guest.
Haha, exactly. Let your passion for technology shine through. And on that note, don't underestimate the power of asking thoughtful questions.
No, that's a good point. It shows you're engaged, you're curious.
Exactly. Prepare a few questions beforehand. Maybe about the company culture, the team dynamics, or even specific challenges of the role. It shows you're thinking critically.
Remember, an interview is a two-way street. You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you.
That's so important.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right fit for both sides. Okay, here's a small but mighty tip from Brown. Always follow up with a thank you note.
A thank you note, isn't that a bit old-fashioned?
Maybe, but it makes a difference. Trust me. It shows professionalism, attention to detail, and it reinforces your interest in the role.
It's like a little reminder of the great conversation you had.
Exactly. And Brown encourages you to use the thank you note to reiterate your key strengths, how they align with SAP's needs. Tie everything together and leave them with a positive final impression.
I like it. It's all about those little extra touches. Okay, so we've covered the practical tips, but what about the bigger picture?
Well, Brown talks about this really important idea. It's about showcasing your passion for technology, not just as a set of skills, but as a way to drive real business value.
So it's not just about what you know, it's about how you can use that knowledge to make a real impact.
Right. Tell the story of the impact you've made, the problems you've solved, the results you've achieved. Show them you're not just a techie, you're a strategic thinker.
A problem solver, a game changer.
Exactly. And he also talks about the importance of connecting your personal goals to SAP's mission. Showing them that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking to be part of something bigger.
Finding that alignment between your aspirations and theirs, it's about shared purpose.
And at the end of the day, Brown reminds us that an interview isn't an interrogation. It's a conversation.
Yeah, be yourself. Let your personality shine through.
SAP is looking for more than just skills on a resume. They're looking for people who fit their culture, who share their passion for innovation, who are excited to be part of their team.
So there you have it. You've got the questions, you've got the answers, you've got the expert advice. Now go out there and rock that SAP interview.
And even if this particular opportunity doesn't work out, the skills you've gained from this deep dive will be invaluable for any job search.
Absolutely. Preparation, confidence, passion. These are the keys to success, no matter where you go.
So go out there, be your brilliant selves, and show the world what you've got. And hey, if you want even more awesome interview tips, check out Joshua Brown's channel. It's a goldmine.
Good luck out there.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.